What's up, cool kids? FD White. Welcome back to the channel. So the crypto market is pumping. Bitcoin is pumping. I do want to look at something that's a little bit concerning for Bitcoin, but for the most part, I like what I'm seeing starting the week out for Bitcoin. So we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Ethereum. We're going to look at XRP, and we're going to look at Solana. And then we'll leave the rest of the altcoin market for a later video. But like I said, welcome to the channel. I go by FD White. If you are not subscribed, we are trying to reach 2.5K subscribers. We've been at it for a while, scraping and crawling. If you could do me a favor and hit that like and that subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, let's jump into it. So right now, like I said, the crypto bubbles are green. A lot of things are green. We have XPL, which was an outlier while the rest of the market was going down. This was going up. So it inversely is now going down as the rest of the market is going up. And like I said, a lot of the coins that have been pumping over the past few weeks that had a nice drawdown are now starting to pump again. I put out a very good video a little bit earlier talking about cutting your losses. It says sell your crypto now. It's a little bit of clickbait, you got to do it on YouTube, but it's really just talking about your losers, your winners, cutting your losers, finding winners in this crypto market, especially with a few more months left possibly in this cycle, if history is to be our guide, if history plays out. So make sure you watch that video. After you watch this video, I will link it at the end of this video so you guys can go and watch that. So let's jump into it. Bitcoin right now is sitting at 112,261 at the time of recording. So we had a nice pump. We looked at this and we said, this looked bearish. We had this huge move down from about 114,000 all the way down to 108,000. But if we go on the Telegram, you can see what I said in the Telegram. We'll go on the Telegram in a minute. The Cool Kids Alpha Club link will be in the pinned comments to the free Telegram. We said, okay, watch out for this. This looks bearish. If it does play out to the bearish end, we will go down to about 107,300, which was our monthly low, our local low, and our basically our local low. Yeah. And then I said, if we break out, we're going to break out massively, because when bearish patterns play out bullish, then it's really bullish, if that makes sense. So that happened. And we'll look at the Telegram in a minute, but it definitely happened. And right now we got back above that major line in the sand at 112,000. Give or take level, really like 112,300, which is where we are exactly right now. We're sitting at 112,322. So I want to see what Bitcoin does. I want to see what the overall market does. But like I said, I want to watch out for something that's a little bit concerning, and it's a weekend pump. This is a weekend pump. And I mean that because we do have a CME gap coming down. So we close Fridays daily at about 110K. So 110K. So over the weekend, well, basically over the last couple hours, we just pumped all the way up to this 112 point. Well, on the CME right now, we're at 100. We pumped up to 113,000. So CME is usually a little bit off or a little bit different than the spot. But nonetheless, we do have a CME gap sitting down at about 110,000. So make sure you watch out for that. So we talked about this on a video a few days ago, talking about crypto traders beware, the next few weeks could break you. And it's basically just, you can read the titles, I'm gonna read the thumbnails. Basically says chop season. So what that means is going to be a lot of liquidations to the short side. It's going to be a lot of liquidations on the long side. So just to make sure you are being careful when you are trading, if you are trading in this market right now. We don't have a super clear direction right now. Like I said, that we did reclaim this $112,300 level, which is a very good sign for Bitcoin. But we're going to continue, like I said, to continue to watch this and not get too happy, not get too sad when these plays or when these moves play out. And we're just going to continue to let the market tell us what it wants to do. Like I said, right now we have our line sitting at 112. Then we have another one sitting at about 113.3. And then we want to get back above that $116,000 level. And once we can get back up there, this is the play. This is when we really start to get a little bit happier. This range between 116 and 120. And then, like I said, once we get back above 120, party's back on. That's the major line in the sand for the Bitcoin crypto bull market to continue. So we also want to keep an eye out on Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance right now is starting to tick up a bit. We did get up to this move, or up to this area at about 58.8, but then we got rejected again. Now it looks like we're just going to hover around this 58.5% level and just figure out what we want to do. I think, and then we'll talk about Ethereum. I think we need to start to break out. Let's go to a bigger time frame. Let's go to the daily. I think we need to at least get back up to the 60%, between the 62 and the 60%. I think Bitcoin dominance needs to get somewhere up in here, then start to roll over, possibly going into late October, early November. Then we can get some sort of a sustained altcoin season. Altcoin season has changed. Altcoin season is different. But the new definition of altcoin season, which I will not define right now, but it is new. It is a different type of cycle. It is a different type of altcoin season market. So if you've been in the market, you kind of know that altcoin season has changed. Altcoin season is different, but I still want to see Bitcoin dominance go up, get back above this 59.5, get back in between 60 and 62%. Then I would love to see a rollover. Then we can get some of these altcoin moves. But really, I want to see, once it gets back to the 60, 62%, I want to see the Bitcoin price get back above that $120,000 level, possibly get to 130, 135, 140, hopefully 150, higher than that. Then once we get that, the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher Bitcoin dominance goes, then we get the rollover, the better the altcoin season would be or will be. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's talk about altcoins since we're talking about altcoin season right now. And these are just easily recognizable key levels that we've been playing with over the past few months and sometimes over the past few years. Even Ethereum has maintained or formed a lot of these levels over the years, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. These are coins that have a nice history behind them. So we can take full advantage by looking behind us, looking at history and looking at some of these support resistance levels, these major support resistance levels. So one of them would be coming in at about 4,050. So we did bounce above there. We rejected it, got rejected here, came below it, came all the way down to about 38, 36. Then we just reclaimed it a few hours ago. Let's actually go to the hourly time frame so you can see. We reclaimed it. Now it looks like we're getting rejected right here at the bottom of this range, which this range is coming in at about 41.50 all the way to the top side about 21.20. So we're getting rejected here. If we can get back within this range, this is a quick trade. If you want to take this trade, this is just a price action trade. If you want to consider longing something like this, what we will be looking for is reclaiming this, our R3 strategy, reclaim, retest, react, all the way up to here, put a little leverage on there, and you can make a nice amount. Let's see how much that would be. If this happened and you got to reclaim, this would be a nice 1.58% move with a little bit of leverage. That could be like 5x leverage. You can make, 5, 6, 7% on there. That's a good trade. Don't let anybody tell you different. That is a good trade. 3, 4, 5% trades are great trades. Don't let the internet fool you. So be watching that. Or we just could potentially just blast right through there. You see, we just blast right through there. We pull our volume profiles. We can get a little bit more information as to what can happen. And we're just looking at this level here, this major area here, which we did break through. We see we have all this price action here, all this price action here. We can even go back further and we'll see a lot more price action at this 4,050 level. But like I said, let's turn these off right quick. What I'm looking at for Ethereum is possibly getting back above here. And if we can get back above this $4,200 level, I think we can make our way back up to these levels here. This is what we want to do. We want to break this. See, we just failed. Like we took the stairs up and we took the elevator down. Stairs up, elevator down. So we want to just break through here. I think we can get back up to about 4,500. We get back 45, 4,600, parties back on. And then, of course, once we get up here, above 47.5, 4,800, then I'm looking at anywhere between 55 to 6,000 for Ethereum. I think Ethereum has one more major run coming this cycle, hopefully, because I hold a nice significant amount of Ethereum. Next, XRP. We don't want to make this too long. Where we at? 9 minutes and 48 seconds. XRP is sitting under $3. So we want to get back above that $3. I don't want to talk about anything until XRP gets back above that $3 area. We came back down to this $2.70 area, which has acted as massive support as we came down. What we broke through here in mid-summer, came here, support, came here, support, came here again, support. Now, will we get the significant bounce or another significant bounce like we got here? We got a significant bounce here. So will we get another significant bounce here, getting back to this $3, reclaim, retest, react, and then, we can start aiming for these $3.15, excuse me. And then our major level will be coming in around $3.30 to $3.40 for XRP. So we'll be watching that too. So it's really just like these levels have been made, and you just have to watch the levels. We watch for our reclaims, our R3 strategy, our reclaim, retest, react. It's really that simple. It's not that simple, But really, the basis of everything that we're looking at when it comes to these moves, when it comes to altcoins doing well, when it comes to your specific altcoin making new highs, we have to start to reclaim some of these pivotal areas, these pivotal support and resistance areas that we've been watching over the past few months. So that's what I'm looking at for XRP. First and foremost, we just got to get back above $3. We get back above $3, then, party's back on. And then we can start to look for some of those other areas that we talked about above there. I still think XRP is going to do well. We do have, I think XRP and Solana have ETF approvals that have to be approved or denied coming like mid-October. So that could be a catalyst to watch out for XRP and Solana. And speaking of Solana, I mean, we just been in this nice uptrend ever since, let's go to the 4 hour and we can get a little bit more. Ever since we came to the bottom here in June, at the end of June, coming in at about $127 to $130. And we just been riding this uptrend, coming in at these horizontals, these horizontal supports. And then we came back up, got all the way to a high of about $2, I wish, $200 and 53 cents. $253. There we go. Then we got rejected, came all the way back down. Nice bounce off this $190 area. This actually is a strong SR level, the support resistance level. See all this price action here. Support, resistance, support. So we just built a lot of price action around this $190 area. Now we have reclaimed. We're back in this channel. So next we want to get back above this $220 level. Then I think we can make our way back to the top side, coming in at about 265, which is in perfect confluence with our upward sloping trend line here, the top side of our channel, and this horizontal that goes all the way back here from the beginning of the beginning of the year. And then we also have some at the end, or at the end of November, which was when we got that election. Solana ran all the way up to about $265. So that's a pivotal level. I think this will be an amazing trade to take if we can get this to really play out. We can go from here to here. That's a 23% move. Add a little bit of leverage, nothing too much. You don't want to over leverage because, like I said, this market has been a lot choppy. So once we get this move, we'll reclaim. Draw it out really quick for you. Hopefully we get back above here. Stay back in this channel. Stay in this channel. Reclaim this area here at about $215 to $220. Reclaim, retest. Then we react, going all the way up to this 265. And I do think we can still go to like 300, a little bit, past 300, depending on how high Bitcoin goes and how high, how frothy this market gets going into the tail end of Q4. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over those 4 coins. If you want to come over to the Telegram, we've been talking about the market for a few weeks, very extensively. And if you want to trade, I talked TooBit into giving me a $50 USDT for the community. If you want to register with my link will be in the description. You can get $50 USDT when you sign up. All you have to do is sign up. You get that $50, and then you have your deposit bonuses of 100. You get 30, 500. You get 100, 5,000. You get 500, so on and so forth, up to $30,000 in USDT rewards. So make sure you guys come over and sign up to TooBit. Make sure you use that link, and you can get some free USDT for a free crypto futures trade. And like I said, we just been putting a lot of alpha into the community, into the Telegram. So link will be in the pinned comments. And October and November are historically the most bullish months in the year. You see this chart that we put over in the Telegram. Make sure you guys go check this out. So we only had, since 2013, we've had 2 red Octobers, and we had 4 red November. So October potentially could be an amazing month, and then hopefully it follows with November as well. And then December is a toss-up. So we're going to focus on October and November. Hopefully we can, get some of these gains in, and hopefully we can make some money. And like I said, this video here, this will be a very important video for you to watch. Sell your crypto now. Like I said, it's a little bit clickbaity, but if you watch it, you'll get why I said that. So this is FD White. Make sure you like, subscribe. I appreciate it. I appreciate you if you watch it this far. That's why, we're the cool kids. We don't get too up when the market is up. We don't get too down when the market is down. We're cool, calm, collected, and we try to stay rational in irrational markets. Yep. And that's pretty much it, man. You have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.